Today, we're talking about something that literally every single one of us experiences, but, we rarely talk about how to actually deal with it. I'm talking about sadness. Navigating these everyday emotional ups and downs, it is a completely universal human experience. It's totally normal to have off days, whether something specific happened at work or, well, maybe you just woke up feeling a little heavy. But instead of letting it derail us, we're going to build a toolkit today. We're pulling directly from mental health experts to help you process and actually release those feelings in a healthy way. Okay, let's dive into this. A lot of the time, we beat ourselves up when we feel sad, right? We think it's some sort of personal failure or a sign of weakness. But licensed clinical social worker Mallory Grimsty frames this brilliantly. She says that when you feel sad, your brain and body are actually sending you a signal. And that signal is simply telling you that you've taken a hit, You've taken a blow, and you need to get cozy, be good to yourself, and just allow some time for rest and recovery. Sadness is not a flaw. It's a built-in mechanism asking you to pause. And what happens when we ignore that signal? Well, as Mallory points out, our feelings don't like to be ignored. Fighting sadness, getting mad at yourself for feeling down, or, aggressively pushing those feelings away, that almost always makes the situation worse. When you try to suppress human emotion, it is gonna find a way out eventually. Ignoring sadness often leads to way larger emotional breakdowns or sudden angry outbursts, mostly because the pressure just builds and builds until it pops. Section 1. Sadness versus clinical depression. So before we can start applying tools to heal, we have to diagnose the boundaries of our feelings. It's incredibly important to differentiate between an everyday bout of sadness and a much more severe mental health condition, like clinical depression. Understanding this distinction is literally the first step in knowing exactly what kind of care you need. And one of the critical differentiators between temporary sadness and depression is a symptom called anhedonia. Anhedonia is defined as the loss of interest or pleasure in things you once loved. See, when you're just feeling sad, you can usually still find some comfort or joy in your favorite hobbies, like watching a great movie or playing a video game. But when you're dealing with deeper depression, that joy is just stripped away, and even your absolute favorite activities feel completely empty. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. According to BetterUp and Medical News Today, sadness and depression compare really distinctly across several key factors. Sadness is usually tied to specific triggering events, and it passes with time. Depression, on the other hand, can persist for over 2 weeks and doesn't always need a specific trigger. It actually has highly complex genetic, environmental, and psychological causes. While sadness might slow you down for a day or two, depression substantially impacts your daily life, making routine tasks seem totally overwhelming, and it often brings along intense feelings of worthlessness. Section 2. Stop fighting your feelings. Now, if you've recognized that what you're experiencing is that passing, everyday sadness, then it's time to shift our focus to the mindset you actually need to heal. And the absolute first thing we need to do is address a highly toxic habit so many of us have, feeling guilty for being sad. Knowing that other people might be worried about you can make you feel like a burden, but you've got to drop the guilt. You need to start treating yourself like a friend. I mean, think about it. If your best friend came to you completely upset, you wouldn't tell them they were wasting time or being self-indulgent, right? No way. You'd offer them a cup of tea, a listening ear, and a comfortable place to rest. Being kind to yourself and practicing self-care when you're sad isn't an indulgence at all. It's absolutely essential for your emotional regulation. Section 3, your Emotional Release Toolkit. So the crucial point here is that we need a proactive strategy. You really shouldn't have to figure out what to do on the fly while you're already feeling weighed down. So we synthesized a highly actionable emotional release toolkit for mental health experts that you can turn to whenever those gray clouds start rolling in. Our first set of tools is all about physical release. Number 1, cry if you need to. Seriously, do not hold it back. Crying is highly productive because it actually releases happy hormones and provides deep physical relief. Number 2 is exercise or movement. You've got to get that stagnant energy out. And number 3 is prioritizing your sleep, which is foundational to stabilizing your mood. Let's actually look at the data behind why these physical releases are so vital. Just look at this number, 15. A study published in JAMA Psychiatry found that just 15 minutes of running per day significantly reduces your chances of depression. But hey, even if you aren't a runner, the science shows that just moving your body more in any way throughout the day has a massive positive impact on keeping those negative feelings at bay. And on the flip side, we have 4.5. Research from the University of Pennsylvania showed that individuals who were limited to just 4.5 hours of sleep a night for 1 week reported significantly more anger, sadness, and mental exhaustion. Simply put, inadequate sleep destroys your emotional baseline. So taking a nap or going to bed early when you're sad, that's actually an incredibly smart, scientifically backed coping mechanism. Okay, the next part of your toolkit is creative expression. First up, write it down. Journaling addresses the problem both physically and mentally by forcing you to clearly articulate exactly what's bothering you. You might actually discover the real root of your sadness by the time you put the pen down. Second, listen to music. According to the experts at HCM Lifestyle, music literally causes your brain to release neurotransmitters that can instantly shift your mental state. And third, find a creative outlet like painting or gardening. Doing something tactile gives your brain a break and lets you process those emotions in the background. Finally, we have to look at how we interact with others. It's incredibly tempting to just isolate yourself when you're down, but isolating just allows those negative thoughts to echo in an empty room. Instead, remember the classic lifeline from the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You always have the option to call a friend. Talking it out and vocalizing your vulnerability offers immense relief, and it can provide you with a fresh perspective that you just couldn't see on your own. Section 4. When to seek help. But what if you've tried the toolkit, you've rested, you've talked to friends, and the sadness just won't lift? Well, it's incredibly important to know when it's time to pivot and bring in some professional reinforcement. According to BetterUp, there are 3 major warning signs to watch out for. First, persistent sadness that doesn't seem to have a reason and just won't go away. Second, experiencing sudden, intense mood changes, like swinging from ecstatic to devastated in an instant. And third, any thoughts of self-harm, which should absolutely never be ignored and require immediate professional support. Please remember, mental health conditions are not character flaws. Seeking help is honestly one of the bravest, most courageous steps you can take for your well-being. Section 5. Reclaim your sunshine. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to remember that while sadness is hard, heavy, and frankly exhausting, it is also temporary. You are not just a passenger to your emotions. You have a toolkit now. You have the power to navigate these feelings with grace, to treat yourself with the kindness you truly deserve, and to actively step back into the light. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. What small thing will you do today to reclaim your sunshine? You don't have to fix everything all at once. Maybe it's just going for a 15-minute walk, putting on your absolute favorite song, or calling a friend. Just pick one gentle action from the toolkit we discussed today and take that step. If you found this explainer helpful in navigating those tough days, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out, and it makes sure you won't miss out on our future explainers where we break down more fascinating research to help you live your best life. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and as you close this out, really ask yourself, what is the one gentle step you're going to take today to reclaim your sunshine?